Education's positive effects extend beyond jobs and earnings. Through education, individuals gain the ability to be effective agents in their lives. Coupled with the values that are expressed and meditated by school rules and how teachers uphold them and respond to transgressions and the likes. Well, I have a lot of N, but let's continue. Hello and welcome to Let's Talk. My name is Olujoke Wasaku, and my guest is Mrs. Olawumi Aninye, a teacher with the New York City Department of Education Public Schools. And the topic before us is values of education. But before we delve into the program proper, as usual, I'd like to remind you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all of our social media platforms. Until then, please enjoy this ride with us. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mrs. Aninye, for coming on the show. It's nice having you again.
Thank you, Lujoke. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Now, the topic is values of education. Now, what is education, if we'll start by that?
That's a good question. Education is a process of acquiring knowledge. Education is educating young children. Education is a systematic approach of making sure that, the young ones begins to acquire knowledge. They begin to gain understanding of what they need to learn during the course of the school year, be it from pre-K, kindergarten, all the way to high school, to college. Is a systematic approach of learning, is a systematic approach of acquiring knowledge.
So what then is the value of education, having said all of that?
The value of education is still to make sure that our young children becomes productive citizens in our society. The value at the end of the day is to ensure that will produce citizens that are capable, that are productive, that will take on the realms of affairs in the society when they grow up. So education brings in the values, gives them the values that will be appreciated at the end of the day as it grows into adulthood, as it begins to become part of functional members of the society.
Now, are we still maintaining the values of education globally? And if so, how can it be sustained?
I would say yes, we're still meeting that because I'm a teacher and that's my profession. And I would say that we're still in the business of educating our children, educating the students from when they start, as little as early childhood, all the way to the university level. I would say that we are still in that business of making sure that our children are learning and that they acquire the tools that they need to acquire, even in their chosen profession, in their chosen career, as they grow older, as they, navigate through life. Yes, that is still our business. That is still what we are doing on a daily basis.
Now, as a teacher, as you've mentioned, are there challenges that are being faced, that you are being faced with? I mean, speaking on behalf of many other teachers, could you please let us into that?
Well, there are challenges in any profession. And teaching profession is not an exceptional sector that is not facing challenges. There are many challenges that we're facing that we're, on a daily basis, either from maybe parents, either from students, either from administration, either from, changing policies and all that in curriculum. So there are challenges every day. There are challenges in the classroom, in the school building, and as you know, the society too is changing. So everything around us is changing, and the schools are not an exceptional sector to the changes that we are experiencing right now.
Now, moving forward, tell us about. I want us to quickly go into why I'm asked the question of challenges was because, like you said, there's challenges in every sector, but some are peculiar to each sector. Now, tell us about the expectations that teachers have from students, parents, and even the school authority pertaining to the measures put in place to, to protect teachers, because we know that teaching is actually a volatile profession whereby you are not just dealing with an individual, you're dealing with a chain, a chain of personalities starting from parents. And we know that education is not just in the classroom, it starts from the home.
Yes, that's a very packed question, and I will try as much as possible as I can to answer that question. Starting from the students, there are challenges from students in terms of, students that have behavior, students that are, refusing to follow directions, students that are refusing to follow instructions, students that are, that are kind of volatile, and they come in with thinking that, oh, who's a teacher, you can't talk to me, I'm not going to follow the school rules, and the teacher be at the receiving end of these a student that doesn't want to follow school rules or school directions, because the teacher is always the one that say, oh no, you can't do that, oh no, you have to sit down, oh no, you have to listen to what I'm saying to you. And in that process, sometimes teachers get they get into trouble, in terms of the kids not listening or trying to get by the guidance of the teacher. So, but on the other hand, there are also measures that are protecting teachers from this type of behavior, because the teacher have to we've been trained to kind of address different situations that we may be faced on a daily basis, such as if a student walk into the room and is refusing to sit down, you can call the crisis team to come in if it's becoming a little of a problem for the teacher and the other students in the classroom, because number one thing in the school building is safety. Number one, security. We're very security conscious in the building, so everybody has to come in knowing that they feel safe, that they are safe, including staff, including children. So if any student is trying to be very unruly or trying to be a problem, we have the crisis team. We have the dean in the school building that can come in and remove such student from the classroom. We have the crisis team that can come in and remove the kid or the student from the room, so that the situation does not get out of hand or escalated to the point where somebody get hurt or somebody get injured. So all these measures are in place in the school system that I'm aware of.
So how has it been helping so far?
It's been helping. In I'm not going to say most cases. Teachers have been hurt before. Teachers have been kind of physically abused, pushed down, shoved down, punched or slapped. All these has happened in the past. They are still happening, and they will continue to happen. But as I said, if a teacher gets injured in the building on the line of duty, there's something we'll call line of duty injury. If anything happens to a teacher, the teacher is allowed to take some days off to see the doctor, to heal, if the teacher is seriously injured. So all these measures are there to protect our teachers. Also, student can be removed, and student can be suspended from school for some times. The chancellor is, the chancellor regulations that are, that are already in place to deal with such, situation. If a teacher gets hurt, if a student violates, a teacher, in terms of physical abuse or verbal abuse or any terms of kind of abuse like that, and the student can get removed from the school entirely based on the degree of the altercation. Based on the degree of the altercation, a student can be removed from that school, and transferred to another school. A student can be suspended. So, parent will be invited into the building to have a meeting with the administration and the teacher. So there's for mediation, there's so many steps that are taken to resolve, to mediate, and also to protect teachers if such events happen or such incident happens to any teacher in the school building.
That's interesting. But first, let's quickly go on this break and we will be right back. Please stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, the program is Let's Talk on DNT Work. And I've been speaking with Mrs. Olawumi Aninye. She is a teacher with the New York City Department of Education, Public Schools. And the topic has been values of education. Thank you so much, Ma, for standing by. It's nice, to always have you.
Thank you.
Now, moving forward, having said all the precautions and everything that you've mentioned concerning how teachers are being protected and how it has been effective so far, what can be done to avoid being bullied by students precisely?
Wow, that is an amazing question. That's an amazing question. So as I mentioned before, bully is everywhere. There's student to student bullying. There's a teacher to student bully. There's student to teacher to student bullying, student to teacher. There's bullying everywhere. But in the case of a student bullying a teacher in terms of harassing a teacher, the teacher that is being bullied, or like I said before, there are measures. If a teacher is feeling unsafe, the teacher have a right to speak to the administration. The teacher has a right to call the union into to mediate in terms of a teacher not feeling safe, or a teacher that is being bullied by a student, and the teacher can always report the incident, any incident. And like I said, we've had several training, such as therapeutic crisis intervention training. And such training teaches you, it tells you what you need to do in face of that the kind of behavior from a student. Either you walk away from that situation, or you invite another staff member to come into the situation, or you kind of remove yourself from that, or you call the family of the student, you report the student. And all these measures we can take. The teacher is not all that powerless, if I can use that word, in the school. We're not all that powerless. We have measures, we have policies, we have process that we can take if in a situation where we feel that maybe a student is trying to threaten us or bully us, or try to attack or bring some kind of harm to us. So there are measures, and we cannot feel unsafe and still be expected to teach. So that's a measure that and we also have the school safety in the building as well, and they are part of the police department unit. So all these measures are in place where a student can be removed if a teacher is feeling very unsafe, transferred to another school, suspended from the school, or removed from that teacher's classroom, and all that.
Now, while we're talking behind the scene, you made mention of passion and having to teach, to build, to build and shape lives has to do with passion, because with all of this, the challenges, being bullied, like you said, the teacher have been shoved before, teacher, things have happened. And it will only take passion to continue to do this job or even appear in the class the following morning. Now, when with all of that, do you think that teachers are well paid, honored, or appreciated?
Oh, well, it takes passion for anyone to be a teacher. And I always say that. It takes passion, it takes dedication, it takes a love of the job for you to want to be a teacher, especially with the new generation of children that we have. These days they're very fearless. They say what they want to say, they act the way they want to act. So the times are different. What we have now is different from when most teachers were growing up, especially older teachers and middle-aged teachers, even for the young teachers that are coming up too, because when you have a student in your class that is very defiant, that is not listening to your instructions or your classroom rules and all that, it's quite challenging. So it takes you to love that job. It takes you to be passionate about teaching, to want to stay in the profession, or to even want to return back, the next day. If you don't love the job, if you're not passionate about what you do, you will look for another profession to do. And coming to the terms of paying teachers, I don't think teachers are not well paid. It's not even a matter of thinking. The teachers are not well paid. They're not well appreciated in the society, because the reason why it's that way, I'm not sure why, but they are underpaid. Because when you look at teachers being the bedrock of the society, being the teachers that shape lives, that shape children's vision, that shape their career choice, that shape tons and numerous and many people's lives, and then they are the ones that are not being remunerated appropriately. It's it's very on the service. They're not being they're not serving them well in terms of the remuneration. They're not well paid. Teachers are not well paid, because teachers they are the foundation for every other profession. Doctor, engineer, lawyer. They raise them, they bring them up, they identify which student can read, which student cannot read. They're doctors on their own, in their own calling, diagnosing who is reading, who is not reading, who knows what, who can add numbers, who cannot add numbers, in collecting data and reteaching, making sure, shaping these young children's future. And then at the end of the day, the take home is nothing compared to what these young children that they raise, when they grow up, they become doctors and lawyers and police and firefighter, and all these wonderful careers, judge and psychologist, surgeon, pharmacist. And then the teachers at the bottom of payment, of salary payment. I mean, teachers need to get better contracts, if you may ask me.
Well, while you were talking, I actually remembered this popular saying that teachers' reward is in heaven.
Teachers' reward is in heaven, but teachers is also in the same society where teachers are paid the same light bill, the same rate for light bill, the same rate for for rent, the same, rate for every other services in the society. So if teacher's reward is in heaven, but the teacher is still here on earth. So while the teacher is on earth here, does the teacher have to die as a pauper? No, the teacher needs to be paid so that the teacher can take care of, him or herself. And knowing that you're appreciated, what you're doing, your profession is appreciated. The president of a country passed through a teacher. The teacher taught the president how to read and write. The teacher taught everybody. Every profession in the whole world lies, in that circle where a teacher is the one that raised them, that builds them up, that guides them, that taught them, that open their eyes to what they can become. And then, the reward should start from here. The reward should start from earth, not in heaven alone. From here, if I may answer your question.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. Any final word?
The final word is, if you're a teacher out there, keep on doing what you're doing. I mean, keep on enjoying your profession. And as I said, it's a passion. Continue to love what you do, and continue to uphold our society, and let's continue to raise up these young ones, and the way they should go in terms of the education, and continue to open their eyes to see, the path that they want to follow, and continue to build a healthy society and a productive one.
Thank you so much for your time. It's always nice discussing topics with you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And to you out there, thank you too for being part of the show. I hope you've learned one or two things. If you're a teacher, wear the crown, wear the hat, and be proud of what you do. And as students, please ensure you respect your teachers and avoid bullying your teachers. Until next time, when I come away again with another exciting edition of Let's Talk, take care of yourself and bye for now.